Àjàntálá wandered through the thick forest, his eyes sharp and curious, as if God had decided to answer his mother's prayer. Àjàntálá did not find his way back home. Instead, he ventured deeper into the forest. He walked endlessly, searching for a resting place. He passed rivers, crossed mountains, and walked beneath towering trees. He moved through dark jungles where light could hardly be seen. Still, Àjàntálá was not tired. He did not even rest for a moment. As no, he possessed very strange strength. In the evening, he came across a strange village, not of humans, but of animals. In those days, animals also spoke like humans. They lived together, worked together, and associated peacefully. A hut caught his attention. It was home to a goat, a fox, and an elephant, all living together in peace. Àjàntálá went inside to plead for shelter. He knew they would not accept him naturally, so he begged to stay with them as their mate. The animals agreed happily. In this hut, each animal had a schedule for hunting and gathering food. One animal would go to the farm to search for food, and when he returned, they would all eat together. The next day, another animal would go. This was how they had been living together in peace. The next morning, the elephant called a meeting and declared,
"Since this boy is our mate now, he will join us to search for food."
They all agreed, including Àjàntálá. That morning, it was Goat's turn to hunt. Goat and Àjàntálá went into the bush. As usual, he was playing around instead of helping. Goat noticed but said nothing. He did not think much of it since it was Àjàntálá's first day. When Goat finished gathering food, he called Àjàntálá to help carry the load. But Àjàntálá suddenly pushed him down and beat him mercilessly. He kicked him, punched him in the eyes, lifted him up, and threw him to the ground. Ever since Goat was born, he had never received such a beating in his life. He wailed and cried, but there was no one to save him. When Àjàntálá was satisfied, he warned him,
"Can't do one of this, or else you will face worse."
Goat wiped his tears and carried the load home in fear. If you enjoyed this story so far, don't forget to take a moment to like the video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. When he reached home, Elephant and Fox asked why he was dirty and why his eyes were red. He replied,
"It was bee that stung me while gathering food."
The next day, it was Fox's turn. Fox also told Àjàntálá to help with the load, and Àjàntálá beat him as well. He gave the same warning.
"Can't do one of this, or else you will face worse."
When Fox returned home and they asked why he was dirty and why his eyes were red, he
"The
replied,
bee that stung Goat yesterday is the same bee that stung me today. That same bee will sting all of us."
The next day, it was the elephant's turn. The same thing happened. Àjàntálá even had the strength to beat an elephant. That night, the three animals held a meeting. They were tired of the mysterious child who had turned their home into a living hell held a meeting while Àjàntálá was out of the hut. The conclusion was that they should run away early the next morning and find another place to stay. However, Àjàntálá had heard everything. He arrived in the middle of the meeting and listened to all they said. The animals packed their loads and prepared to leave the next morning. Àjàntálá was furious. When the animals went to sleep, he wrapped himself inside the load they had packed. At dawn, their plan moved into action. Goats carried the load first. They had planned to rotate it whenever one got tired. After working for a while, he became hungry and wanted to eat from the load. Since he was not the only one who owned it, he lied that he wanted to defecate and told the others to continue the journey, saying he would meet them later. Goats went into the bush ready to eat. As he unwrapped the leaves, Àjàntálá was the first thing he saw. Àjàntálá flew at him and beat him mercilessly, slapping him, kicking him in the stomach, lifting him up and throwing him down. Since Goats had told the others to go ahead, no one was around to hear his cries. When Àjàntálá was satisfied, he ordered Goat to wrap him back up as the load was before. Goat obeyed and carried the load on his head as if nothing had happened. After walking for a while, Goat handed the load to Fox, pretending to be tired. Fox tried the same trick, telling the others he was tired so he could steal food as well. Àjàntálá repeated his words. Fox cried bitterly, but no one was there to save him. Even the elephant tried the same thing. But when it was done, he shouted loudly and ran out of the bush, leaving the load behind. He ran and met Goat and Fox ahead of him. Àjàntálá chased after them, and this was how the three animals began to run for their lives. Àjàntálá took another route, knowing the animals would surely pass that way. He climbed a tree by the roadside and waited. Just as he had expected, the animals became exhausted, and when they noticed that Àjàntálá was no longer in sight, they decided to rest under the big tree. Then they began to blame Goat, saying he was the one who accepted Àjàntálá into their home. Goat tried to defend himself, but they refused to listen. Finally, he cursed himself, saying,
If I was the one, let the ground open and swallow me. If I wasn't the one, let something carry him into our midst.
Immediately Àjàntálá had this. He fell down into their midst. The animals ran in different directions for their lives. Goats ran toward the land of humans, and since then, goats have lived with humans. Elephants and fox ran deep into the forest, and from that day, the bush became their home. What became of Àjàntálá, the mysterious child? God, seeing the child's wickedness, made Àjàntálá vanish from the earth. That was the end of Àjàntálá. This is where the story ends. May such a child never be born into our homes. See you in the next story.